Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description below. Yeah, so we are currently stuck between a wall and a blockchain place. The last 5, dare I say 6 months, have been a little ridiculi within the cryptocurrency space, simply because, it's actually like 38 different reasons, but the one that we're going to talk about has to do with the idea of what Bitcoin normally does after a halving. We historically see, it's going to get crazy, I promise. We historically see Bitcoin rising higher after a halving has taken place. I think we can all agree on that. Everyone here can. I'm by myself, by the way, but everyone else can agree with me. Where we've been, as I've stated before in other videos, is something that we're going to call unprecedented, simply because we have never had Bitcoin ETFs before, spot ETFs, and now we have them within the United States, multiple. We've never been in a situation before, never, where we hear that a handful of companies has purchased, what was it? It was like 700, 800,000, 900. Oh yeah, it was 1 million Bitcoin in around 3.5 months. We had a particular lull period over the course of the entirety of the summer where prices were actually even going even lower. Besides the entire hubbub that we have right now around discussions of the prices of the cryptocurrency market and the stock market going higher based on the interest rates being lowered. At the time of me making this video, we still have no proper indication. Fingers and toes crossed, but the idea is that, once again, the Fed will lower interest rates, money will become cheaper to get, debt will be cheaper, and therefore markets will go higher, especially if the predictions come true and we actually end up having 2 to 3 different rate cuts over the course of this year. It would be September, November, and December are the time frames that we're currently getting. But something very odd is taking place. Do you remember? I'm sure you do. All the analysts, for some reason, have come to the exact same conclusion. Bitcoin is not only undervalued, but Bitcoin is poised, and I say this lightly, any day now to do something quite spectacular. The weirdest part has been is that after having this channel for a number of years and the other channel for a number of years, we've never usually gotten to the point where all analysts are saying the exact same thing. This news is actually from multiple analysts, but I'm actually going with the most popular one, as he actually gave more information as opposed to just like a general kind of a bit of information. When you talk about where prices are now, and I know this is going to be hard to digest in many different ways, the expectations are that we are still, do you understand my words, regardless of the price movements that we've seen over the past 4-5 months, every analyst is saying that something big is about to happen. This mainly has to do with the accumulation of Bitcoin being taken off of exchanges, the skewed number that we're seeing of large investors holding an enormous amount of Bitcoin. This basically also the news that we got recently about Tether as well, for those of you who didn't see the Tether news. Tether, historically bull markety, tends to always create an enormous amount of Tether right before the market goes up. It's to have extra liquidity in the market because they tend to, from what we've heard, tend to work with a lot of very rich people and corporations and companies who say, hey, we plan on trading. We need extra liquidity. Here's some money. Give us stable coins. And that's how the basis of it actually ends up running. All these indicators around us are pointing to the fact that the bull run is like, first of all, we're already in a bull run, but like the second leg of it, like the wee, like going high into the sky and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it went that high in price. That kind of one, once again, I say, is just around the corner. Plan B is back in the news once again. He says, according to his charts, and he's not alone, he's not the only one, that's what we're talking about. He says that Bitcoin is on track. He says nothing has changed. He said literally nothing has changed. Nothing is askewed. Nothing is off. Nothing is awry. There's been no crazy events up and down. He said Bitcoin is completely on track to hit at least $500,000. Responding to someone asking about the recent Bitcoin price chop being all over the place, nothing seems to be secure or making any sense. Plan B said Bitcoin is on track to hit an average price of $500,000 between now and 2028. Plan B is going under the normal assumption. We have people in the hyper bullish crowd on this side who think that this may be our last cycle, that the cycles may never be the same again, and basically Bitcoin will never go down. He's going by the idea that this is going to be a mega bull run, and then even as we settle back down, Bitcoin will be at an average price of $500,000. That means going up and then coming down and basically resting around here at $500,000 until 2028, when the next halving happens, which is when his numbers also get completely insane. He said, and I quote, "The boring 6-month trading range did not really surprise me, of course. My hope was for a sooner jump, but I have become very patient. As long as Bitcoin stays within the wide flight envelope within the range," he said, which it does, "it's all okay. So my target is 500,000 Bitcoin as an average between 2024 and the 2028 halving period, where Bitcoin will be in 2025, so saith Plan B, and nearly every single analyst." I mean, we had one person who said 220,000. He's saying that between 2024 and 2028, Bitcoin's price will be 250,000 to $1 million range, end quote. Plan B in all of them. He's not the only one. Don't forget, they all stated that 2029 will be the $1 million plus Bitcoin time frame. We had two people who all said $1 million plus Bitcoin this bull run, if we can drag it on back a little bit. $1 million does make sense based off of the level of accumulation and the amount of Bitcoin that's not left on crypto exchanges. The numbers make sense. I think are pretty good. I think everyone has varying degrees of ideas of where this is going to go. $250,000 to $500,000 Bitcoin in 2025 seems completely believable. A lot of my friends in the market, they think a $350,000 to $400,000 per coin is kind of when it's going to become like a little bit rocky. I've seen a lot of people saying 600,000 as well for a coin. I think 300 sounds, let me know if 300 sounds pretty believable for this level of accumulation and how little there actually is for the rest of the world. It's been very odd, if I can be completely honest. I think I told you all of this in like the height of summer, simply because I want to understand completely how these people have been able to accumulate so much Bitcoin and not send prices into the stratosphere. You do understand how weird it is, the level of accumulation that we've been seeing. If you missed, I want to say 2 or 3 videos ago, a couple of days ago, we had news once again that over the course, I think it was the last month, I think the thing gave a 30-day period. I think almost around 6 billion with a B, $6 billion worth of Bitcoin was sold. You remember who it was sold by? It was sold by retail investors, everyday normal people in the market. Sold $6 billion worth of Bitcoin. Do you know what happened subsequently over the course of every single selling? They were repurchased by whales over and over and over. Anytime that there's like any movement down in price, retail investors, normal people, if you will, sell off for some reason in a panic. We even had another article that said it was something along the lines of like retail investors are very impatient. I think I'm pretty sure I ranted in that video. Retail investors are very impatient right now because the market's not moving exactly how quick that they want it to, and they're causing the wealth transfer to happen. They think, or the average person assumes, that the wealth transfer has to do with like money, either flowing from the heavens onto them, but it's actually the people with the least amount of money and the least amount of Bitcoin, who have the least amount of assets, who are selling off all their assets and giving them literally back to the rich people who have no intention of selling any of their coins. So this is getting really intense because I can't be the only one who's feeling it. Do you, not to sound weird, but do you feel it in the air? Like, are you actually feeling the electricity? I told you when I meet up with my friends now, I remember a couple of months ago when I was making videos, I was telling you about my friends, and they weren't really talking about money or crypto or investing. We'd have like a 30-second conversation and we'd go, yeah, so what do you want to do today? It would kind of shift very fast. I'm getting into this space where we're sitting for an hour talking about the NFTs that we want to buy, the investments that we want to get, the apartments that we would like to have in the future, how much crypto they're buying, the automatic payments that they're setting up. It feels like almost like a light bit of electricity kind of flowing through the air again. This, of course, tends to increase as the market gets ripping and roaring, but usually before you kind of feel it. It's like something there. And I don't know if everyone else is also experiencing that right now, but I think everyone's kind of like ready and on board, of course, for the market to move a lot higher. But it's also this kind of like, I feel like all the big investors are like getting prepared, putting their money in, kind of seeing where things are going to go, especially when the expectation, not for Bitcoin particularly, but for a lot of the altcoins, the expectation is a 20 to 40x in price. I know this sounds weird. I know it sounds bizarre. If you've been in this market before, every single cycle, there's about 20 to 30 altcoins that do 15x's, 25x's in price from where they currently are, 45x's. And there's always those 2 or 3 coins that end up doing, this coin went up by 15,000%. It sounds nuts if you've never been here before, but this is why people are in crypto, for these crazy, crazy returns. So a lot of they're not legacy coins. Legacy doesn't make any sense, but a lot of the top 20 and top 30 coins, people are expecting these things to do a 20 to 40x in price. And that's why I think my friends are now like repiling back into the market. For clarity's sake, I have not stopped buying. I have buy orders weekly and bi-weekly, and also some at the beginning of the month as well. And then even then, a lot of times, this is personal, I get very impatient with the fact that it's only like the 5th of the month, and I'm like, I feel like I should just buy some more, and then I end up buying some other altcoins, as I've been doing in the last couple of days as well. I try to be like orderly, where I'm like, okay, the buy orders are in, it's totally fine. And then I can't actually stick to it, and I always have to end up buying a lot more. I'm doing the same on VV as well. I think the VV thing is because I saw on Twitter people were posting, someone just got to level 100, and I was like, how'd you do that? And someone else was posting that I think he has almost 5,000 comics and I felt like I had to buy more so I can get closer to 5,000. Yeah, anywho, got off track. Got off track there. I think that's going to do it for this video. Yeah, I do hope you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.